Hey everybody, this is Taylor Bowerman, and I'm going to do my micronutrient assignment on folate. We're just going to do a general description or introduction on what folate actually is. And so folate is a water-soluble B vitamin that occurs naturally in most foods. Specifically, vitamin B9 includes both folate and folic acid, which is a man-made form of folate. The RDA for folate in adults is 400 micrograms, and in women who are planning to be pregnant or could become pregnant or are pregnant, especially in the early stages of pregnancy, it's recommended to get between 4 and 800 micrograms, with the upper limit being 1,000 grams a day in adults. A little bit more specifically, this is a table that just goes through age from birth to 19 or adult age. It goes from male to female, pregnant and lactating. So feel free to go back and look at this throughout the assignment if you need it before we take the test. It's really good information to have. Obviously, it increases based on age. Differs just a little bit with pregnant and lactating females. And then these are a little bit more specific with upper limits, going from the same birth to 19 or adult ages. Something really interesting to note is in infants, breast milk and formula are the only forms of folate that they should be getting. Once they start getting solid foods, there's a saying, food before one is just for fun, that they should be getting all of the nutrients that they need in their diet from breast milk or formula. Major functions for folate is our body needs folate to make or repair DNA and other genetic materials. Folate helps the body cell to be able to divide. Folate is vital for red blood cell production, and red blood cells provide oxygen to the body. So in a roundabout way, folate is also helping to provide oxygen to the body. Another major function is that it helps people with anemia, which goes directly with that red blood cell one before. It also helps with age-related hearing loss, and it is essential for pregnant women because it aids in closing the baby's neural tube in the first 5 weeks of pregnancy. Additionally, it helps prevent major congenital defects with the brain and spine, such as spina bifida and encephalopathy. Can't say that word. Encephalopathy. Some food sources that are rich in folate are just the fresh fruits and vegetables and fortified cereals, as we learned from this chapter. So as long as we're eating a diet full of raw fruits and vegetables, things like asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, oranges and kiwi, the whole wheat bread usually is fortified with folate. Lentils, milk, egg yolk, and other fortified cereals. This could be oatmeal, cream of wheat. There's even some like cold cereals that are fortified with some folate. Going more into deficiencies, the deficiencies possible can come from overcooking foods, which destroys the vitamins that are causing the foods to lose the folate in them. So as we're cooking the foods or overcooking the foods, we're actually cooking out the folate that comes in rich fruits and vegetables, as I listed in the previous slide. Along with that, a diet low in fresh fruits and vegetables and fortified cereals is actually the main cause of folate deficiency. And I'll go into toxicities, but just like a little point now is we do not become we don't have folate toxicity from just eating what we do in our normal diet. It's actually from taking a supplement. So on the flip side of that, it's the same with deficiencies. if we're not eating what we should be eating with the fresh fruits and vegetables and fortified cereals, that's what causes the folate deficiency. There's a couple different kinds of anemia that I'll go into a little bit in the next slide as well. But anemia, this specific megaloblastic anemia, is when the red blood cells are larger than normal or not fully developed. Deficiency in folate causes low levels of white blood counts and platelets, which helps with clotting and infection. Another deficiency is spinal cord and brain in the fetus can be underdeveloped or not properly developed, causing the neural tube defects. So, as I said in the previous slides, like it's really important to get take a folate supplement or to eat more foods that are rich in folate, especially in those first 5 weeks of pregnancy, because that is when the neural tube starts to close and to form in the fetus when the mother is pregnant, and the folate works directly. That goes hand in hand with closing or forming the neural tube. So if you don't get enough folate, that's when a lot of birth defects start to happen, especially with the brain and the spinal cord. Some deficiency symptoms, any type of anemic person feels these symptoms, is fatigue or lack of energy. That's probably one of the biggest things that you'll find. And other ones are shortness of breath, headaches, tachycardia or fast heart rate, ringing in your ears, diarrhea, the pins and needles feeling when you lose circulation to one of those parts of your bodies, numbness in hands or feet that deals directly with the circulation of your blood, depression, muscle weakness, weight loss, and loss of appetite. These are just a few. There was a lot if you just go onto Google and type in folate deficiencies. There's a bunch that come up, but these were kind of the main ones that I thought were pertinent to this. Some more deficiency continued. People who are most prone to being folate deficient are teen girls and women ages 14 to 30, especially before and during pregnancy. A lot of these women these age, or teen girls these age, become anemic because they lose blood during their period as well. Another category is non-Hispanic Black women. People with disorders that lower nutrient absorption, such as celiac disease or inflammatory bowel disease or irritable bowel syndrome, and people with alcoholism. Going into toxicity, there's no health risk associated with folate intake from food. However, there is risk of toxicity from folic acid found in dietary supplements and fortified foods. So that's kind of how, as I was talking before, if we eat a balanced diet, then we don't really have any toxicity concerns. It's when we have to start taking these dietary supplements that we get to start to think about toxicity. Some symptoms of the toxicity of folate is digestive problems, including bloating, loss of appetite, or nausea, a bitter or unpleasant taste in the mouth, sleep disturbances, irritability or excessive excitement, numbness or tingling that we had talked about in the last slide, weakness, trouble concentrating, and seizures. Moving on to folate's function and metabolism, it's very critical in the metabolism of the nucleic acid precursors and several amino acids, and it's in the methylation reactions. One of the most interesting things I learned while I was researching folate included that folate and pregnancy just go hand in hand, and I found these cool quotes. Folate deficient women who become pregnant are at greater risk of giving birth to low birth weight, premature, and or infants with neural tube defects. Beginning in 1998, the FDA has required the addition of folic acid to enriched breads, cereals, flours, cornmeals, pastas, rice, and other grain products. The stated goal was reduction in rates of neural tube defects in newborns. I thought that was really cool because we finally found a link in like what was causing these neural tube defects or low birth weight or prematurity in these babies that were being born, and they found a direct link to folic acid deficiency. I just think that was really cool that we were able to cut down rates of these newborns that were having so many issues just by taking a simple folate supplement, and that's like with the prenatal vitamins that women take now. It's enriched with folate in it. I just thought that was interesting. A highlight from literature or media is I read a connection that was made back in 2006. A study was done with people with rheumatoid arthritis. There was a link between getting folic acid and kind of helping with this rheumatoid arthritis. It says that the authors outlined in depth the current mechanism of disease for rheumatoid arthritis and described the latest research in using folic acid targeted nanoparticles to target synovial macrophages in the fight against this arthritis. So I thought that was a really interesting connection that now these people with this arthritis, which is the most common type of arthritis, has maybe just a link into folate deficiency. In conclusion, we get all the folate we need if we eat a diet full of fresh fruits and vegetables and fortified cereals or foods. Eating a balanced diet reduces the need for supplementation of any kind. Folate toxicity comes from the supplemental intake of folate, not from the diet we eat, most often. So if we eat a balanced diet, we never have to worry about getting too much or too little of this micronutrient. And then here's my references that I used that were referenced on each of the slides that I prepared. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for listening to my folate presentation. Have a great rest of your semester.